the lineup's gonna have a BKB timing that's unstoppable, and I just don't believe in TA anymore as well.
The better of the brothers, Limmp. Limmp versus HcE. We didn't even. I mean, we didn't even mention
into each other, so it kind of doesn't matter.
I know, but it's still brother versus brother. It's not the only brother matchup that we have in this year as well. It's fun to talk about. For people that don't know, HcE and Limmp are brothers. So there you go. You favoring Limmp here too?
I'm favoring actually the Wraith King. I think the simplicity of a Wraith King, especially on Alliance, you just tank one arena, tank one Ember jump, and suddenly the fight's yours.
All right, simplicity at its finest. Will Alliance take this one home, or will we see HcE make a redemption arc here? We're gonna find out with Cap and Fox.
Chill, baby.
Yeah, if they want a redemption arc, it's going to have to start right here, right now, because things haven't been looking good, Fox, for High Coast, and they certainly, a win against Alliance would certainly be a statement win, for sure.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, some comfortable heroes and some really strong heroes currently in the patch, and you know, HcE has been saying, practice the hero a lot, like Daniel talked about. He did have a rough showing on that one, and I feel like his game is pretty important for their entire style, because he's the one who's just going to detonate the Shadow Fiend pre-BKB, right? We know that the Limmp is going to go for this BKB at some point early in the game to counteract this Mars, and we're going to have to see HcE just really dictate the pace of the early with his how much he's able to impact at that big arena.
Now, we did not see the Clockwork Cogs play for the SF, as the panel was kind of talking about, and ultimately saying, no, that's not going to be a play because Necromastery only gives you 1 damage. So not worth the time, apparently. Alliance are going to try and get 3 bounty runes here by posing very aggressively on one side, while S4 just chills out on the high ground to get the 3rd bounty rune for them. So nicely done. Fuck, I got to know. What do you think about Winter Wyvern? Since we saw the previous series, it wasn't super impressive. Let me throw some stats at you real quick. 10th worst base damage, 13th worst starting armor, 15th worst base movement speed. Like, this is just not a good stat hero to start.
Yeah, wow, that's actually really surprising. An ability that has a 50-second cooldown at level 1 too, you know, one of the longest cooldown regular abilities in the game like that. That's some nice stats you got there. I like that. Yeah, hero is really weird to make work, but I do like when a team sets it up with combos. I think that's one way that you can make the hero look and shine a lot more. Don't make it just about the curse. Don't make it just about your splinter. Make it about the setup for your team, so you have this overwhelming team fight to engage or disengage at your choice.
So in this case, you're referring to, okay, we're going to Winter's Curse and then get Requiem, or we're going to get off Wukong's command, or potentially both.
Exactly. Just any type of setup, at least. I like more when you have more ways of setting it up, so the fact that they have 2 is perfect. Like, I remember when we watched OG, remember when they were doing like the offlane Wyvern and they would have the Lina for Jerax? Stuff like that. Just any type of follow-up for this curse just always makes it look a lot better rather than just, oh my god, there's a lot of summons I'm going to click.
Okay, and what about how do we deal with Coddle Embers here? We heard the panel say, T-Governor, I thought was very smart. He said, okay, you want a hero that either has very high base armor, so you can deal with the Sleight of Fist spamming, or some sort of natural regen. Monkey King actually fits both of those.
Yep, feels perfect. I love when I see them get this dynamic. Right, you pick the Monkey King, you pick the Shadow Fiend, and you just force them into Monkey. Or Ember Spirit's gonna have a bad lane. He's not gonna go off lane. So you just force him into this bad. Nice, like dodging that.
Yeah, that was a sweet little move there to make sure he didn't get the Jinx stacks.
Yeah, and I love the Clockwork pick with it. I think it touches everything they really need. You know, getting into the backlines, giving the vision, getting the initiation for the Shadow Fiend to protect him. So I think they've covered their bases very nicely. And looking at Shadow Fiend versus this mid matchup, we're looking at Limmp is doing really, really well versus TA, like Kyle was mentioning, a master of the matchup.
Yeah, Kyle saying pretty much this is going to be a matchup that Limmp is not going to back down from, a matchup that he knows very well, and a matchup that displays the skill. Bottom lane, they're going to get aggressive here. See if we can see our first blood as FNG is being gone on, but he's going to play around the trees here. Does throw the Splinter Blast, so it bounces over to Era. So they kind of trade out damage here quite a bit. Era's actually getting low enough. Another Splinter Blast almost finished him off. Fortunately, the Spear is there. A healing salve. Can they cancel it? No, he gets the roll away just in time. So he keeps all that regen flowing in. A close call, but no first blood yet.
All 3 lanes already starting to get taken advantage of from Alliance, the way they've set it up. And they even get a pull up top, and they even get Zibby inside the cogs. He will survive, but they get the side pull and they defend it. So more farm denied from Charlie, and the lanes just continue to go.
Here we go again.
Another
Into
aggressive
blast is going to bounce over, hits Era. Jesse again forced to defend with the spear, but now he's out of mana. Era looks like he may have to make the long walk back to base.
Pretty fortunate that the Wyvern's also playing versus a double melee offlaner, so even more merits for FNG, the first pick Wyvern. Looking really good, honestly, versus everything he is up against.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the things about it, right? You're matched up against some sort of Rubik, Lina, Wind Ranger, any of those heroes. Wind Ranger's not going to feel so hot, which a Wyvern rather, but double melee, use that for sure.
And even getting into like the later stages of the game, it was your last pick Mars that Wyvern can fly out of and set up and protect people who are inside of it, or you can just get the setup for your. There's just a lot of benefits, and I feel like this Wyvern was picked early, and I feel like High Coast picked things into it that were just made it better.
Blast going off. Hanskin will be your first blood. It's Era who picks it up.
In war, a fool's first lesson is his last.
Done. And stuff's picked up, and Era now having an urn too early on.
Saw FNG trying to guard the other side of the power runes. They're going to TP in. Even if they didn't get the power rune, Limmp will at least be able to get the bottle refill. Again, he is doing really well.
That's a salute. Yeah. Goes toward top. They also have they even have a stack starting to be prepared. I noticed for the Shadow Fiend to get enabled even more. Hanskin to get at least one there, and he's gonna mess with the pull and get himself the top 2 bounty runes for his team. Bottom looks like High Coast should be able to get it. FNG can't. Likely to be
Radiant's middle tower is under
especially
attack.
since they're missing with a hard camp stack of their own. See FNG trying to get that one big centaur. That's gonna be denied by Era. Goes for the kick. Still, Nico Baby's free farming. We've got S4 doing very well on the Monkey King when it comes to CS. I don't think you're really expecting an offlaner to be getting more CS than the enemy carry, but it's working here. Charlie is falling farther and farther behind, it seems. And then the mid lane matchup, TA versus SF, skill-based matchup, and he wins
Radiant
it.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, and he's even got the double wave. He kills the enemy catapult, and now he's going to look to pressure this tower here. Clear out the next wave and have his catapult hitting the tower. Nice aggressive
Dire's
move by
middle
Limmp
tower
that they're
is
not going to
under
react to.
attack.
Era starting to make the move over, but should have maybe been there a little bit sooner. They could actually look to set up and punish him, though. Traps up, hits on TA, and we'll have to ruin is coming up. FNG.
Kicks him over. Aaron's going to have to abandon the idea of
Radiant's
picking up this
middle
power
tower
rune,
is under
which
attack.
will end up going to Limmp, an illusion rune in his back pocket, ready to be used, I guess, if he runs into a bad TA trap or something. Nice little dispel.
Definitely a pretty decent one. Don't break refraction charges or play it defensively. He's got a couple methods, and he's gonna farm those stacks that they do have ready in the jungle. They'll give the clockwork mid for levels. This is all just great maximizing from alliances. So it's getting a little bit out-farmed in these lanes at the moment, and unable to really
Radiant's
pressure
courier
on any
has
fronts.
been killed.
Can't take advantage of the fact that S4 is just alone is definitely a concern.
Yeah, when they're winning in CS in all their lanes and they're getting more camp stacks, like that says to me something went wrong. Whether it was a drafting matchup or a play, and I kind of feel like it's got to be a little bit of draft. I think this Monkey King versus Ember Spirit lane was a brilliant choice by Alliance.
Yeah, and maybe Zibek should have just backed away and just done a little bit more stacks. I see he has 2 prepared, but maybe he should have just gone for full maximization rather than just sticking up there. It didn't seem to help too much anyway versus S4.
Getting some nice side blades in. Supreme is going to be forced back by the burn. Hanskin braving the tower in order to get this kill, and ultimately they do kill Supreme before he can get the last hit on Hanskin. So
Worth it.
yeah. And again,
Nico
they're
Baby
still able to leave S4 alone at top.
Yeah, they can't actually punish him. They're gonna try now with Era's rotation.
Dire's
They
middle
should.
tower is under attack.
Gave it to Charlie.
A little hold.
He needs the helping hand, I think, to be a little bit more farmed, so that's fair.
Honestly, I think when they start getting a tower push, Chessie's job is just to be there,
Dire's middle tower is
swap
under
himself in
attack.
front of it, and not allow them to get that push going. So I think stacks, though, are the most important thing. Cannot have Supreme fall behind at all in this game.
Well, he is top of High Coast roster. He is ahead of the Wraith King, though. Limmp, who's farther and farther ahead thanks to all these extra neutrals he's managed to get. Now Hanskin is going to find an opening on Zibe, interrupted by Era, though Era's done this time and time again. Seems like he's pretty much playing around the coddle a lot of the times. Nice. Bails him out of maybe a potential bad situation. They still have these 2 stacks set up, and these 2 are actually hand-holding themselves with 2 supports, and Zibe is going to start working on the stack himself. And just clear it up a little for Supreme. But no ancient stacks at all yet this game, which is always a big worry for me when you're playing with TA. Yeah, that is a bit concerning. A bit of the downside of Era playing more around mid and especially top is that he's not there to be able to stack up so much. They at least have this hard camp now, triple stack too, so the Deso timing is still looking to be pretty decent. He is enabled quite well. But yeah, Limmp is gonna have his item finished at the same time too to look to make moves around, and Yules will be pretty good way for them to set up everything. Oh. To make any. They still hit him. Arctic Burn gets disjointed by the slide. Charlie's fine. Very tough setup for them to actually kill this Ember. Unless they have, I mean, if they have Curse, they can. But besides that, for the early set, this Ember should be pretty safe as long as it doesn't do any crazy remnants or just. Some nice downtime to farm. So they're doing exactly what I was feeling I wanted them to do. And Chester's not dying, no one's dying out of it when they're getting this time to farm and catch back up in the network. Gonna be going for Yules first. Looks like Hanskin's gonna die to Supreme as the 2 supports rotate into mid lane. They probably know the SF is clearing stacks right now, which is why they kind of make an aggressive move here. They're gonna try and see if they can go for the boundary route here. They're gonna scare back Limmp, roll in. You manage to get a kick on to him, push him back into Supreme here. Now he's looking to pick up the bounty route, but he gets cold embraced. FNG may die for that little play. FNG, the last shot comes in, but Limmp is able to get off his ultimate with Requiem and Wukong's out. They TP away, and FNG didn't actually die. So nobody really dies from that whole entire rotation. Now Chance is going to come in with a haste rune and arena and runs. Haven't seen one of those plays before. Hanskin, big old whiff there on the hook shot, looking to get himself out of that sticky situation. He goes down. Era doesn't have a roll up, so it looks like he's going to be dying here to S4. The TA trap slowed him down, but just forces out the boundless strike. Now he's going to be embered up. Controlled by the slide, tries to dodge that big hit from the melt strike. Supreme, though, is unable to continue that play thanks to the cold embrace from FNG. It's Winter Wyvern. As you were kind of saying, it's actually turned out to be a pretty good game for a Winter Wyvern. The versatility of his abilities against these heroes. Yeah, for a first pick Wyvern, right? It just feels like he has actually a really good place in the game versus the TA and versus all this physical damage. High Coast still looking to invade Charlie with the remnants, feels safe. Coddle's back, got a good refresh of his spells. Got FNG. Ancients, oh no! The Ancients are woken up and immediately target FNG. They take the last hit instead of High Coast. Okay, nice aggressive move coming in forward. Chessie's ult definitely a little awkward. They do at least get a kill out of it and are able to disengage nicely.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And they do buy time. Supreme's got his Deso. So pretty decent invasion, even though it's very awkward the way like one hero died out of all of it on each side. Yeah, I'm just I think the best part about it is that Supreme is there, but it hasn't slowed down his farm at all. He's still got the Deso. He's now highest net worth.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Looking to take that mid tower before Limmp can really stop anything. He's got a couple of people behind him here. The Mars is going to cut over. The Earth Spirit's ready to roll in if necessary. Just protect this aggression since the tower is almost dead. Just make sure that your mid isn't ganked while going for it.
FNG's really low level after all this. Still only level 5. He's that pretty much dream setup for their team. It's really difficult for them to ever get these good setups with Hanskin without this curse. He's still quite short of it here. Supreme pretty far in now, though. Can't quite go for him.
Dire's bottom tower.
Recall, Charlie in.
High Coast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think they're doing a really good job by forcing this Wraith King into the mid lane is kind of a dream. see if they can still, like, I think maybe you just split up and just no longer approach that mid tower. It seems like a little bit too risky. They're the ones who brought all these heroes to mid lane. You've got the Coddle and Ember. You've got the mobility on your side. You can outfarm them.
Yeah, definitely a good move, especially when they're starting to see like the experience is being given for the most part to FNG in the mid. I think they were trying to really take advantage of the fact that he was not 6 yet. So they get a good chunk of damage on the tower, and then back up, reset, get the lanes cleared out, get HcE very close to a blink dagger, which gives him a much easier way to start fights. And if he can get this blink, he finds the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend's going to die in almost every single one of these occasions.
Yeah, and then you just you've funneled all this net worth onto a hero that could very easily go 100-0 at the start of a fight.
Yeah. Limmp has to get the BKB right afterwards, as we see him queue it up. They look to make an aggressive move. FNG hits 6 up that creep. They can Requiem or curse into Requiem now onto most heroes. It's only level 1 Requiem. It's about to hit 12.
He finds someone entirely solo here. He may still be able to get the Yules, but Charlie very quick there, realizing that any sort of pressure there, he's got to be careful about the strike or when just hurt. Very long-range disables. Mid tower is going to fall, hit by the creeps. None of the heroes claim that last hit bounty, but still, it's a big boon being able to take that mid tower first. I believe Kyle said 74% win rate, which of course is a bullshit stat, but I have no doubt that the team who takes mid tower first probably has a higher win rate.
So 76 and 74% are Kyle's two numbers.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the 70s with Kyle. He really tries to make he tries to bully people on panel with fake stats, basically.
I like this from HcE. So I think they need to continue these aggressive moves. You know that for the time being, Alliance is going to sit back and just try to get mostly farm. Wraith can go for Radiance. BKB just absolutely needed on Shadow Fiend. So press the issue forward here. HcE, look to make these jumps. And maybe even potentially set yourself up for a Roche if you see the opportunity. You can get a kill on the SF. You can easily set up a run. So traps and get you positioning it in a good spot to get it going. Keep the Coddle near so we can call people.
I like how you're talking about like the potential openings for Roshan here, because HcE, they're not really playing too much for being able to take that bottom safe lane tower. You know, that easy tower to take. They just entirely playing around this top half of the map, invading the triangle, and in a way gives them potential to Roshan at any time. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different, but they have great team fights. It's as long as they get this all off before the BKB. Limmp, if they don't finish this KB, it's going to prove to be a huge problem for them, because he's always going to get his Requiem off. It's going to just mess with absolutely every fights. He's level 12 too, and he's getting a pretty good timing. They're actually looking to set up around bottom, as HcE is looking to set up on the
yeah, they smoke down to the bottom lane. They actually do manage to get with those curse into the Requiem, into the Wukong's command. My goodness, they made sure that Supreme did die there. But HcE has some heroes that are sneaking in from the side here, so even if they lost the TA, there's still a chance they can get a good fight here. So they have to do kind of soon. They're going to be able to find the clockwork, kill him instantly. The spear goes out. Actually hit S4. They didn't expect to find that kill. They lock him inside the arena. He's forced to fight back. He's got the Jingu stacks, trying to keep himself alive off the lifesteal, but no chance in hell. HcE finishes him off with God's Rebuke, while Limmp is forced to TP away to safety. Meanwhile, though, Nico Baby with a big push into mid lane does equalize the map pressure there. Looks like FNG, he tried to stick around, even though he had a TP. I think he was hoping for a sneaky little play, but no chance
bottom tower is under attack.
You can see the very liberal usage of the ultimates from Alliance there. How slow-paced the game is. They know they can just throw everything onto the TA. HcE will be able to get their own push going, but I don't think Alliance is upset about this at all. They get the Relic done now on Nico Baby, getting closer to Radiance, and this Wraith King, just like the panel was saying, just like T-Up was saying, this guy's the king. He's the one who's going to be that real big carry for the team, with the backup of that SF aura too. Literally going to help him inside the fight.
Yeah, and what a huge amount of net worth he just got, being able to claim the last hit on the mid tower and the top tower while he's farming all the live long day. So I got a question. With these ultimates that they're using so liberally, are they not long enough for you to be able to punish, like, immediately? Was there any chance that HcE can just, like, okay, they use ultimates, let's just go Roshan? No play like that?
If they use the ultimates on the TA, probably not, right? Because Supreme's respawn was like 40 plus seconds. They actually have time to reset, get themselves in a
Dire's
good
top
position to
tower
set up
is
around
under
there.
attack.
So if they use that on the TA, then it's really good. But maybe now, let's see where HcE could look to back up. It's still a bit risky though. Clockwork Rocket, they have so many different ways to get information inside the pit on the side of Alliance. So they're gonna give that respect on HcE. But it's definitely scary that it's still only that 1K lead for Alliance, but you really feel that HcE has to keep the tempo going with this fight. TA, the longer the game goes, it starts to really start to fall behind, especially into a Wraith.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned they've been slowed down for the last 5 minutes. It feels like, they're right on the cusp of being able to find these big kills, and then, they get something like this. Okay, the Winter Wyvern, not too bad. This might still be okay. You can see Alliance want to make a full fight of it. They're going to be jumping in. Hanskin goes in, immediately blasted out of his own cogs. Maybe it's for the best. No, S4, they need to focus it down now fast. It does manage to do so before the Wukongs does too much damage. Air's going to roll in, tries to go for Limmp. Limmp with the DD, though, just hits him down, puts him in his place. It's going to be a 1-for-2 trade-off there with HcE walking away the better of the arrangement, though. Still not the dominant into late game, all right, but the hero matchups just aren't in there. TA, very burst-oriented carry against Wraith King with 2 lives. Wyvern with Cold Brace, like you said. Yeah, it's going to be rough if they can't take control of the game pretty much right now.
Yep. And they need to make a lot happen if they are able to take advantage of the next couple seconds. They need to win this fight, get the Rosh, and then just keep snowballing. Have to have perfect ult from HcE. 20 seconds, no ult on this Mars at the moment. Limmp, his BKB is coming out of the courier. Crucial time around here. Supreme still a bit shy of his BKB,
Radiant's
so maybe a
bottom
little
tower is
hesitant
under
he wants to
attack.
join. They always have him coddle though, so he can go finish it up elsewhere and then come in. It's actually Alliance forcing the issue of that Rosh because of that BKB.
I did not think that Alliance would be the one to make the somewhat risky maneuver here. I thought passive play was the a no-brainer for me, but Alliance.
Closing the end.
Yeah, they certainly are. HcE may not be ready for it, especially with the hook shot coming in. The Requiem. Oh no, he had a moment, but he couldn't get away in time. The fear catches him before he could jump away. Now Era is very likely to die here. The Essence Ring won't save him as S4 jumps to the other side of things, and Limmp for the rest of his BKB to help with Nico, baby. Take a look to finish up this Roshan. Playing the Aegis before HcE has a chance to do anything.
Oh, that is disastrous. The TA drive does not get the Rosh set up at all. They can't even take the fight because the way it starts, Charlie has to be more careful. Even though, as you say, he's elusive, there is different ways to combo with that Yules.
That
Can't make these type of mistakes because Supreme, he probably wanted to finish the BKB, but it's just a really smart move from Alliance to force the issue.
And take it out, I mean, Roshan is so important for TA lineup in general. As you can see, Supreme, he does excellent damage, particularly when he has a DD, but he's still very fragile. He needs that extra life to work with.
Especially when he's playing versus a lot of different ways to kite him out. With the Cold Embrace, the Clockwork can mess with you, even if you do have BKB. Just even Reincarnate can slow you down if post BKB. Be very careful for Supreme. He's going to have to really put the work in for his team. And the rest of them are just really falling behind. Charlie, he's below the offlane. He's below the Monkey King as the best 4.
I just cannot get over that Witch's Blade is a viable item for non-intelligence heroes.
Too. It's so weird to see this on these Monkey Kings every game.
Yeah. Monkey Kings, seen it on a few Ember Spirits.
Very likely for him to die if they do get the setup. I actually like it even more when you have setup though, right? When you have Winter's Curse, you can get them in the middle of the Wukong then, right? Then you're actually going to maximize the Witch. Unlike where a lot of the times I feel like I see the Witchblade get a hit. Okay, well, all right, decent.
Yeah.
At least the stats it provides are just a...
Nico, baby, continuing off of this momentum. If they have the Aegis on the SF, they're very likely to try and force some fights and go for some invasions. He's got a Blink Dagger to make sure that team fights actually happen right now.
Yeah, I love this third item blink that I'm seeing on these Wraith Kings a lot of the time. You get kited, but this is always going to change that. And you just, if you get on the supports in the back lines, you will probably 1 or 2 shot them if you get a hit with the Mortal Strike. Era, very far forward.
Oh, he does manage to roll away.
Under attack.
A big break for it. He's good. I think.
Oh,
Radiant's bottom
That looked
tower
weird. It looked like he
is
was
under
actually inside
attack.
of him. The roll was like perfect. As HcE won't be so lucky. There's that one hit.
Yeah, the guaranteed crit from a strength carry is pretty good. Who knew?
But Cap, it was reduced 10% to 7.28A.
Yeah.
They're still getting a good amount of gold on the map, but you can just feel like, is it all going to actually come down to something? I'm really hoping to see what they're going to be able to make of it with these double BKBs. The Mars also has his finish. Charlie going for a Lincoln. He's still a bit weak in that front. But with this timing, they're actually going to look for something here.
Coordination not on point. Double smokes for this play, but maybe double the smokes, double the kills.
Maybe. Wraith getting quite far away from his team at the moment. They're getting a good wrap around, and to see the couriers also flying in, so they know exactly where they're going to be.
Follow that courier, boys.
Where is it? Oh, it's Hanskin. Get him.
Okay, there's the clockwork. They don't want to initiate on him. They really want to be able to catch up into the SF. They actually do jump the clockwork with the TA. The back line, they do manage to kill FNG. He goes down, and it's more trapped inside the arena. They're going to play around that, but Limmp does manage to get his Yule's combo onto Arrow. He's most certainly dead, unless Essence Ring. No, the last hit comes in. The BKB from HcE fighting through. Hanskin is going to go down. The BKB is though trapped inside these cogs. Mars managed to blink away. Supreme fighting through this, but remember, he doesn't have that Aegis. He is so squishy right now. He needs to be able to stay away from Limmp. Look at him. They don't have detection. They're throwing down races. Finally, they drop the sentry and they see him. They finally manage to kill the TA. It's up to the Ember Spirit to lay out this damage now, but Nico, baby, he's about to lose his first life, but it's the SF who's going to go down first. FNG gets rolled over by HcE. Let's see if they can catch these two cores on their second life. Limmp, he doesn't have a BKB, so he's pretty easily controlled up. Does do a good job of bringing down Mars for the end of it. Charlie, ooh, last bit of mana there with the sleight of fist to make sure Nico, baby, didn't hit him with the stun. They are desperate to slow this man down, catch him. Don't let his blink dagger come up. They managed to get the Vestal, but he blinked into the trees.
Oh.
He's good.
Full Radiance up too. Wow, that was actually better fight than I thought High Coast was going to be able to put up. They did have to use some buybacks, but what an initial jump. They actually found FNG instantly. Even though Alliance was prepared on the right side, they got on him right away. That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, that was
The cogs actually were really impactful though. Hanskin trapping them both during the majority of their BKB in there, so they had to just play very defensive while they were resetting away. And Nico, baby, still probably the biggest winner of it all, but a decent fight from High Coast into an Aegis.
Yeah, not too bad at all. If they could just take another team fight, this one going perhaps a little bit better for the TA since she's not going to have buybacks, so that was obviously a big factor. But honestly, just taking away that Aegis, if they can force another engagement, win that one, we still have a small chance of High Coast kind of taking over that mid game like they need to do.
Yep. I think this Nico baby actually made the executive choice. He got so much farm and he lived throughout the entirety of the last fight. He actually is going for the AC. I saw that Limmp had it queued up, but he gets killed. He doesn't have the great gold. He's just gonna have a casual plate mill for the time being. Not too bad anyway. For TA, then he'll go for butterfly. And they're gonna have this AC pretty much done soon. That's gonna counteract a lot of that damage we did see coming in from Supreme in that last fight. And he has to be just much more careful, as you said. No buyback gonna be available for the next.
Wraith King's out of here pretty far. They kind of ping him, but no disables are around to stop him from taking away.
A very close game, 11-16.
Yeah. Catching FNG? No. Missed the chains. HcE not able to follow up without that disable.
So scary to be Supreme right now. He has to just be very careful. His team has to play and just pretty much smoke to him every time he shows in a lane, because they're very likely that they set up on him. The side of Alliance, and they won't. Nico Baby's gonna run in with his new AC.
Running into the Wraith King, that is not what High Coast wants, so they're gonna retreat after losing Era. See if HcE is able to get back in time before the next blink of the Wraith King. He's good.
Boom, there it goes.
Or maybe he's not.
Oh.
Nice glimmer. He gets that off in time. Zibe is going to have to find some sort of corner to hide in. TP out, but Hanskin ready to go with the hook shot. They had the vision on the high ground to spot him.
Feeling their power spike as soon as that AC is
Dire's
picked
middle
up.
tower is under attack.
Fearlessly charging in. Start getting an advantage, even though they don't have Aegis. Feeling that power, because the TA, no buyback. He just passed it. He's so careful. 30 seconds, no Earth Spirit. Good window for Alliance to really press this advantage forward. So up to tier 2, maybe claim an outpost. Finish up this next set of items. Figure Lips, Butterfly, probably the big one. And S4's BKB. The fights will get easier for Alliance, and they're looking pretty hard for High Coast.
Yeah, it's funny watching this S4 Monkey King. All I can think about the fact is that
Dire's
he's
top
able
tower
to
is
spend
under
more
attack.
time in trees because he's not
Radiant's
supposed to be
bottom
kind of a
tower is
carry,
under attack.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to
Radiant
take that risk that, like, 1 and 2
Dire's
position
top
Monkey Kings
tower
have
has
to
fallen.
do because, like, if you spend too much time in trees, you're just wasting away. You're not actually getting a whole lot of farm. But S4, he's been spending, like, half the game just chilling out, watching people, waiting for his opportunity to strike.
And he's still very farmed, honestly. Like, he's not the same as the Mars because he has been playing on the trees a lot, but he's been a distraction. He's been the one that they've actually focused a lot of the attention on, too, because he's just in the midst of it all. And the Wukong is always a problem.
Era's dead. Zibe, maybe the same thing here. Glimmer Cave trying to get away. The dust is going to slow him down, though. Double raises, Velvet Doom for him. Chessie doesn't get out for BKB in time. He gets hit by the stun. Limmp is going to go for the Requiem, but at the same time, the curse came out on the TA. That's going to be a lot of abilities wasted. Supreme, he wastes no time to try and take advantage of this. They do it with the Cold Embrace plus Wukong's command combo that is going to force Supreme away, though. He's not able to take advantage of that. Bit of a misplay, bit of a miscommunication from Alliance.
Oops. A little bit of a reset away from it. A little bit of weird stuff going on there. Clearly different understanding of the fight from the SF and the Wyvern, how to wanted to get out of that situation. I think FNG making a good executive choice. Guys, we're on the high ground. You don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
Fair call.
And now, High Coast. They don't have Mars ult for about 25 seconds. Chessie's still not having it available. But they do have a little bit of a power for Supreme.
Yeah, if all things like even, if you blow ultimates on both sides, you're probably more willing to take the fight if you're High Coast, right?
Yeah, Nico Baby is the one all the way in the front, though. This is a top target for them.
Oh, nice double stun there for the Balance Strike. He's going to try and jump in. They do manage to bring down Charlie. Now they're going to follow up on Arrow, who tried to roll onto the back line to catch FNG. Instead, he's the one who stumbles into Alliance's trap. 2 down with the 5,000 net worth lead. Alliance they just seem to be countering a lot of High Coast moves. They're just read him. They're gonna have to go for a fight here. Every single time Nico Baby's the one to intercept the movement.
And such good reads of how to just control Charlie. This is now the second time they've seen how to do this. It's perfect. They get the initial stun, gets the hook shot, walks in front, gets the beauty hog push back. Their lineup is lacking a little bit of those real stuns, quote unquote, but when he does it like this, they're always able to catch Ember, who's done a Lincoln.
Yeah.
Lincoln's isn't going to help you if you found this guy in the clock hook shot.
Fallen to the Radiant.
Immortality.
Now Aegis Cheese as well. Full butterfly on Limmp from that last situation too. Looking to get harder for High Coast. Supreme has Daedalus, but a lot more things that he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, if Dota Plus thought that this game was heavily favoring Alliance when the game was even on net worth and experience, now that they're up by 7K, it's pretty much saying there is just one more nail left to put into that coffin.
Charlie,
Dire's top
throwing himself in the
tower is
front
under
again.
attack.
He's got to be careful of that. He's got the Lincolns, and they tried the double stun there. But fortunately, Charlie was quick enough before the Winter's Curse came out.
A great ward deep in the base. S4, he's setting up here.
S4 does manage to get off the Wukong's command to be able to cover as Nico Baby was not trapped at all. Managed to kill Supreme as a result of that. The Winter's Curse goes out last second. FNG was just hoping to survive, but either way, his team has certainly won this engagement. Chessie puts himself in a corner, trying to use his shield as best he can, but ultimately without the TA, Fog, they don't have any damage.
No, they do not. And a beautiful setup from S4. They actually catch Era trying to do some creep catching shenanigans in the back here. They're going to use buybacks to try to hold the racks. Okay. Looks like a pretty hard hold. They're still Aegis. As well as the trees.
Yeah. pops the cheese. Just in case, 10 more seconds till his reincarnation is back up. They're gonna go for Hanskin here. Hanskin protecting himself with the clogs. Nico Baby is ready to go back in. His reincarnation is just about there. Actually, the block done there is Nico Baby, thanks to S4. Gets hit by the Earth Spirit, so Nico Baby just pumps out the damage real quick. Takes down Era, brings down Charlie, and now he's looking for the finishing blow on not just HcE, but High Coast as a whole. They should be able to take 2 lanes of barracks. High Coast can hold out if they want to. There's still that tier 2 at bottom lane. Alliance can't force Megas just yet.
What a way to start that fight. S4 jumping in, puts a ward down in the back lines, and then they just jump on the TA, and the Wukong pretty much does everything with Nico Baby there. HcE, he jumps in the back lines, but they're like, oh god, wait a minute. Our damage source is already dead. There's nothing they can do as Alliance. They can find good close and whatnot, but they're felt like they've taken control of this game as soon as they got that first.
Yeah, they may not be able to get Megas, but the Ancient is still win condition, and it is going to be enough to force Megas. So, game 1, High Coast, they managed to, kind of keep it even, but it